It severs our ancestral connection, no matter what culture we are, like no matter where we've come from. It severs our ancestral connection, where all of our ancestors, no matter who they were, at any point in history, was looking at the stars and using the stars and the planets as like guidance and like as inspiration and influence to create whatever society or culture that they had. And so I think like when you can't like look up in East Oakland or West Oakland and see the stars, but only the brightest ones, you know, that's like, it's really damaging, because like I met a lot of inner city kids that have like gone out to places like Quail Springs and New Cuyama, you know, and like they've had profound experiences, never seen the stars before, you know what I mean? And it's something you hear about in like your Eurocentric based like public schooling system, you know? And I think that it's like, we all looked at the same stars, you know, like maybe different places all over the globe had different constellations or whatever, you know, but you know, we looked at the stars for guidance, for inspiration, for influence, you know, and to create stories, right. You know, and to create like how we shaped ourselves, you know, from all kinds of different backgrounds. Right. So like, it is dangerous, and energetically it suppresses us, you know, and like, if we valued that more, then we'd stand up for it more, you know, demand it more. And there's lots that can be done, you know. We can put hoods on these lights that like right. only reflect down and not up. Right. You know, like, it's very simple.
What do you think about light pollution?
That's a good question. I never thought about it, man. I never thought about that, man.
I mean, imagine how dark everything was, you know? Like, our overhead lights in our house, we have track lighting, or just the lighting that we have, those fluorescent tubes, you know? Were those around in the 70s and 60s? I doubt it, not like they are now. And the lighting, when we change out light bulbs to go from yellow to white, yeah. You know, yellow lights in your house is a good thing?
That's what I've heard, yeah.
Because we have white lights and they're cheaper, but they keep you wide awake. It's like daylight, like fake daylight, so you can stay inside longer.
Pretty close to where I grew up. The smog was unbelievable, and they have a coal plant there that produces most of the energy, and the smog in Portland, it's just the light is completely different. I mean, there's no doubt about it. The light is, and if you go to Europe, the light's very different than the light here, and that all has to do with, I guess, the different particles that are circulating everywhere, and it's definitely something that you notice if you've not been to a certain place and you visit it again, and it is completely different.
City of about 50, maybe 60,000, you know? Yeah. Give or take. That's a rough estimate. But there's just trees everywhere. You know, I took all these photos on my phone to show friends. I'm driving down these boulevards, these main streets in town. Yeah. And it wasn't like, I look out here where we're at right now, and it's so open. There's so much space, so few trees. There's like so city lights. Our overhead lights right now in Campbell and even new parts in San Jose are white lights. You've seen those now, and they illuminate so much at night. So the night has now been illuminated. There's almost no darkness. I'm driving through this town, and it's what is there? Early August, late July. This is Eugene. And it's so dark, and it's the middle of the day. I mean, the sun's overhead, but there's so many trees. There's so much shade. There's this like wind that blows through, and it's hot. It gets like 90 degrees there. But there was shade, there was this cool breeze. We went to the river.
Did you see stars in LA?
Well, LA is just so smoggy, and if it would rain and clear out the smog maybe a little bit, you might see a nice starry night, you know, if you get that lucky. But yeah, no, you'd have to probably go up to the mountains or Malibu, or I don't know where you'd have to go to see a nice, beautiful starry night. You're right. I mean, you know, sometimes I don't even look up at the sky enough to even think about that.
So like, because of air pollution, because of all these particles in the air, what is happening is the light is getting trapped within the atmosphere. So it's like basically it's like a filter, and that's the reason why you can't see it. I think if we didn't have such high levels of air pollution, the light would not be as reflective, so you would still be able to see the stars.
To go to like Big Bear or somewhere far up high to really see the stars. And in Mexico, I could just go upstairs to my aunt's like roof, and they were like right there because we're in the middle of nowhere.
Light pollution is a travesty. It's a real shame. To be able to see the full sky of stars is one of the most awe-inspiring things a person can experience. To really understand that we have a place in the universe just by looking up. You know, our ancestors, even our grandparents and our great-grandparents, they had a much better idea, if they were wont to look up at the sky, of where we are in the universe. And I feel that it's really a terrible thing that most kids today, when they look up, they can't see any of that. They see a strange orangish glow over everything instead of clear starry skies.
Light pollution, pollution of the night.
Day and night, it's all the same thing.